Well, Uncle Al back here again. It's been, might have to hear it. It's been raining non-stop for about 3 or 4 days, you know. Oh, non-stop rain. And I haven't been out for a couple of days, so I thought I'd tell you a couple of really good New Zealand stories, you know. I know it's a lot in one go, because usually I'm out and about, but I haven't been able to go out and about because it's just crap outside. You know. Winter time. Hey, have you got snow in Tassie yet? It must be about snow time there. I'll have a look on the weather report, see what's happening over where you are. Oh yeah. If you like these clips that I put up for you on YouTube, do us a favour and hit that like button down the bottom, because I might build up a few followers, you know. Like, I'll get on the piss with me mates when the weather's good and that. I say, oh, tell us a story, Al. You know, you got some fucking doozies, cuz, you know. You want to hear some shit, get Alan to tell you a story, you know. If I'm down the pub, they'll go, oh, you know, fucking Alan will tell you a fucking good one, mate. He'll keep you entertained. So, yeah, they'll come over and they'll turn the video off and they'll say, oh, fucking tell us a story, you know. So I'll get a few requests from mates, you know, to come over, or, you know, fucking tell us a good one. So hit the like button if you like it. Oh, and that share button. Fucking share it with a few mates. See if you can build me database up a little bit or something. Because I might make a full-time channel. There's this one I listen to. It's called Keep Canada Weird. And it's a good podcast. I listen to it at night once a week when they come on. You know, they got stories out of Canada. You know, fish that have been caught in a storm and land on your house. And people running naked through the Tim Hortons or whatever their coffee houses and stuff like that, you know. And they're quite popular. So do us a favour, do that for me, because I might end up building up my subscriber base, you know. So, you know, anyway. I've got a lot of mad stories about old school New Zealand. I've got heaps. No, I told you that. And real wicked ones. Not. Barbie went to town and had a good time and came home with Ken. These are some real tough old school Kiwi blokes from like 30, 40 years ago. I used to love reading those Barry Crump books. Remember Barry Crump? He had a book. It was called Good Kiwi Man, or a Good King Man, or something like that. I used to love reading his books. He had some friggin' good stories, you know, very entertaining. And quite a few people have said to me, oh, you know, Alan, you should share some of these stories with others. That's just crazy, you know. It's, where do you come up with this stuff? And I say, I don't come up with it. It just happened in my life, you know. It's just where I grew up and the things that happened, you know. My sister knows heaps of mad shit that happened too, you know. It was just back then in the day, and this stuff would happen. So I won't do a concert. I've got 50 more concert ones. and I did the South Island one. I'm dropping a lot of content for you at the moment. So do us a favour, hit the like button if you watch it and you like it. Don't hit it, don't watch it if you don't like it. It's up to you. But I'll tell you some mean stories that are all true. Alright? On my mother's grave, that's true. People say that's bullshit or whatever. So fuck it, mate. It's true. True New Zealand down under stories, you know. Like, I mean, for the size of the country and the population back then, it was only a couple of million people. It's up to 4 million now, Charmaine. So the population's triple in New Zealand, and that, you know, back in the day, I told you I had that GPZ 1100 motorbike and everything, and I used to go up north every weekend from Auckland, get over the Harbour Bridge before 3 o'clock and travel up to Dargaville and Whangarei. Now, the people in Auckland, yeah, they might cause a bit of mayhem. Oh, actually, that's 3 stories. Yeah, I've got 3 stories this time. I'll tell you three fucking outrageous stories, okay? How the police were hunting me down for nothing. A guy that was so pissed off that wanted revenge, and a rampant rat, a real rat, not Ratty from the other one you might happen to watch, which was a weasel. This was they called a king rat. So I'll start off today with the guy who was totally slutted and could not let it go. He says, I'm gonna fucking get that guy, no matter fucking what. And we call it a far north payback. And this is a far north payback from the farmers, from a farmer. And he had a dairy farm, this guy. And his father had a dairy farm, and his brother had a dairy farm. They owned most of Hukranui, big, fucking huge area outside Whangarei, about 30 minutes north of Whangarei, and about 20 minutes east. And his dad and his granddad and everything, they chopped down all the trees and turned it into grazing land, you know. That's how his family started out. They had a huge acreage of bush, New Zealand native bush. And his great-granddad started pulling all the bush out and all the rocks, all the boulders and everything, and turned it into pasture land with one cow and just built it up into hundreds of acres. And that's what his family, his dad's dad that came to New Zealand and turned it into grazing land. They pulled out all the native bush and all the rocks and very fertile soil and turned it into grazing. So they had cattle, and they were doing milking up there. They had huge, beautiful paddocks. It was absolutely gorgeous, you know. And that reminds me of another story where, anyway, I'll get the first 2. I better write down the other one. And I used to go up there every weekend, and I used to visit Dad quite a bit when he was up in Dakota, in his little place. And so I'd go and visit Barry, our father, nasty bastard, union man #1, you know, put the country on strike, fucking smash you with a beer bottle, that motherfucker. Come home drunk, kick the fucking shit out of the family, make your fucking sister jump out the fucking bedroom window screaming for her fucking life when he came home from the pub, you know. And fucking, I'd go and visit Dad, but I'd just stay at his place for the night now and then, and I'll go over to Whangarei up to my mate's house, friend over in Hukranui. And I turned up there one Saturday morning. Dad's is Friday night. Saturday, I'd cruise over to my mate's house and over in Whangarei, out through the back gullies. Really nice. Beautiful, beautiful motorbike rides. Every weekend. I work Monday to Friday. Friday, out of there at 3, out the fucking door at 3 o'clock from Auckland on my motorbike, up around the back of the Kaipara, up through to Dargaville. Saturday morning over to Whangarei, go to my mate's house. He'd take me out fishing. His missus would cook big roast meals, and, you know, lived in the countryside every weekend I did, and worked in Auckland as a fabricator, welder, engineer. Monday to Friday, I had the best of both worlds, earning a real good income and living out in the countryside in the weekend. And I turned up at his house one Saturday morning, and when I knocked on the door, well, usually when I pull up, they hear the motorbike and they'll come out, the kids will come out. Hey, how you doing, hey, bro? Yeah, fuck. Come on, we'll get out the garage, have a game of pool, have a beer, rah. And this Saturday morning I turned up and it was fucking dead quiet. And I had to actually go and knock on the door, and you could feel the tension. You knew that something wasn't right. I knocked on the door, and he came to the door, and he had a filthy look on his face. He was pissed, bro. Like, you know, he was fucking pissed. And I said, "Oh, cuz, what's happened?" He says, "Oh, you know, I might go around this cunt's house with my fucking shotgun." And he had heaps of guns, you know. And he says, "I want to blow this motherfucker away." What? You know, I want to shoot this fucking guy, but my missus won't let me. And I'll rance it. You could see it, mate. You know, he's purple. He was fucking wild. And he says, "You know, I'll go around to this guy's house right fucking now and waste him." And he had 2 daughters, 1 son. 7, 9, and 11, something like that, you know. Just young kids. And his missus out on this farm. And someone had really upset him. And he says, I'll take him out. But I don't want to lose my family or anything like that. What the fuck's wrong, cuz? He says, "Oh, my daughter come home crying." And he loved this little girl. Loved her. Beyond anything. It was his little angel. Forget it. fucking brings tears to my eyes how much he loved his kids. He was the best father out, and he was a real good farmer. He says, my little girl come home on Wednesday night in tears. What happened? He says, she doesn't want to go back to school, mate. And she's been off school for a few days, and she refuses to go back to school. She won't be near the place. She's, and the whole family's upset. She come home from school absolutely devastated. And the teacher had done something to her. And he had back in those days, you could give a kid a spanking and stuff like that. And he says, my daughter came home and the teacher had fucking taken her to the headmaster's office, and they fucking bent her over and they spanked her ass. And she came home in tears. I think she'd been eating lollies or something in fucking class, something fucking stupid. You wouldn't have had a kid nowadays, but back in the days, you'd get 6 of the best. You'd get a caning or something like that. And anyway, this teacher, he had taken his fucking daughter on Wednesday at school to the headmaster's office and gave her a spanking for some fucking thing, I mean, kids will be kids, but back then it was a lot different. And he'd do milk the cows in the morning and milk the cows in the evening, and he'd come home after milking. He said, I walked in the fucking house, mate. My daughter was fucking upset. She couldn't even talk about it, and Mumsy, his missus, she won't tell me what's fucking going on. Both of them won't tell me what's going on Wednesday. On Thursday and Friday, she didn't go to school, and I calmed down, and I says, what's going on? And his missus finally told him. She didn't want to tell him. There was no fucking way that she was going to tell her hubby that his little daughter come home with a spanked ass, because she knew. He wouldn't say a fucking word. He'd just go out, get the shotgun, go down to fucking school, bang! No one touches my fucking daughter. So no one would tell him for about 2 fucking days what happened. They eased him into it. And they're like, oh, no, it's not too bad, He says, things ain't been fucking too good around here lately, Al. Something happened on Wednesday, and I finally found out earlier in the week what fucking happened. They dropped it to him gently, because they said, "Oh, your daughter come home crying because someone hit her." No, fuck, mate, it would have been fucking over. He would have just, he would have grabbed his gun and all the ammo and would have just gone out fucking guns blazing. I fucking shit you not. He would have done it without thinking of the consequences. He would have lost his family, his farm, and he would have gone to jail and everything. So they eased him into it. And they said, oh, things ain't going too well at school. She just had a bad day. It's nothing to worry about and everything. He knew something was fucking going on. Yeah, mate. And they eased it out to him. They let it down gently. Yeah, she got a spanking at school. But, don't go fucking mad about it. It was probably her fault, She hasn't been sleeping too well lately. She's probably moody or something. But they spanked her at school. And goes, that fucking teacher. Oh, I fucking get that, cunt. She's, no, don't do that. We need you here. Don't fucking do that. Rah, rah, rah. And on a Friday night, everyone goes down the Hookeranui pub, And he was fucking, that fucking teacher cunt on a fucking murderer. Fucking no cunt lays his hands on my kid. He gets away with it. And they all, and a couple of the boys says, it was a local community. And a couple of the guys turned around and said to him, this guy, he spanked my son. My son came home, he'd been spanked. They'd been giving out, this teacher had been giving out fucking corporal punishment to kids in the primary school quite often. All in the name of Christian order, Spare the rod, don't spare the rod, spare the child, and all that fucking old Christian school shit, He was a real old Methodist motherfucker. He was getting kids to sit in the classroom, they had to sit up straight, behind the desk and shit like that. This is the 80s, 90s. But he was keeping a classroom 60s, from the 1960s style. I think he's from Dutchland. I think he was Dutch. And a couple of the guys down the pub also said, fucking, yeah, he's a tough teacher in class, My son's in that class, he's been spanked. He gets the cane. He gets caned if he's bad. He's never fucking happy to go to school, and the girls get spanked and the guys get caned. It's right, fucking. So that they decided that they're going to get this motherfucker back, big time, but. All their missuses, all their wives, and everything. This is true. This is fucking true. All their wives have said, because, there'd been heaps of fights and disputes up in this neighbourhood and all over the far north. And people will go around and they'll just fucking blow you away with a shotgun. And then they'll go to jail. And then the whole family suffers because then they suffer because they weren't smart about it. They fucking just end up in jail with a dead body, And then the wife's, you got your fucking revenge. Now you're in jail for 15 fucking years. And me and the kids have got no fucking food, and the farm goes to shit because no one will work it, so the whole thing gone. You'll lose the lot. So they came up, they got this thing, they came up with this thing called a Far North Payback. That's what I call it, a Far North Payback. Where you can fuck someone right up, and you're not going to get in trouble for it. No guns, no trouble or anything. So, one of them had a pit bull terrier. Well, mostly all of them had pit bull terriers. They all did, down the pub. They're all fucking pig hunters. They're all pig hunters, And they'll have 6, 8 dogs out on the farm, all in kennels, just trained for pig hunting. And when they go out pig hunting, they'll take a male and a female dog and a tracker. They do 3 dogs as a crew for pig hunting up in the forests in New Zealand. 1 dog's a tracker, 1's a male, and 1's a female. And how these dogs are trained is the tracker, they'll drive right up these dirt rural roads, right up in the wop-wops, you know. The only reason the road's there is because it's been put in for forestry, usually. Maybe it might run to an old gold mine or something like that. But it's really remote. And I'll drive down this road in the Toyota Hilux with 3 dogs on the back. And the tracker dog will start barking. And he'll stop the ute, and he'll hop out. And he'll have a big fucking Bowie knife. And his gun. He's a fucking cowcocky, you know? Real fucking cowcocky. And he'll let the 3 dogs off. Well, he lets the first dog off, which is the tracker. And it's trained to smell a pig, a wild pig. And off the tracker dog will go. And he'll come up behind the tracker dog. The tracker dog won't go fucking mental running through the fucking forest. It's trained to lead the way. And it'll be up in front, and he had 2 dogs behind him, 1 a male, 1 a female. Gun, knife, male, female, tracker dog out the front, and that's how they hunt down dogs. Pigs, sorry. You know, like up in the pub. What do you call it when they mount the pig's head on the wall? You know, taxidermy. They got pig heads up on the wall, taxidermy, you know, boars with big tusks and shit like this. That's what the pub's like. Fireplace, pig heads, taxidermy, fucking stuff all around. Yeah, we're chuck a beer. And they'll go out in the bush, and the tracker dog will lead through, and he's after a pig. And he fucking, the tracker dog will go in, and they'll follow it through, and he'll track down the pig, and sort of get a general idea where it is. And this is real hunting. I went out with a few of them. I'd stand at the back, but they taught me the basics of how they do it. And when they get a general idea where the pig is, circle around and make sure you're upwind, the wind's blowing towards you to come down on the pig, because they'll smell you a fucking mile away. So the tracker dog will lead you in, and you get a general idea where this fucking pig is. Oh, it's down in that gully over there. And general idea of where it's feeding and what it's doing. And you'll come downwind from it. And then you want to catch it down in a gully. Because if you get a wild big boar, and I'm talking a fucking monster, you know, like fucking 200-300 kg big, mate. I'm talking a fucking monster. You know, John Alamu doesn't weigh as much as some of these big boars and pigs do. If you catch them up on top of the ridge and you surprise them, they'll go down the side of a fucking mountain like an avalanche, like a rocket ship. They'll go straight through the New Zealand bush, and they're gone. Nothing will catch them. They'll just bowl everything in their fucking path. It's their way to escape is down off the top of the hillside, straight through, and they're fucking gone. If you can let your dogs out after them, your male and your female, right? You catch the pig at the top of the valley. If you let your dogs after the pig at the top of the hill, and they all three of them go down there, pig with a few dogs in tow, you're left behind, mate. You're left behind. You're left up the top of the hill. So you're totally left behind, and you're fucked. Your dogs are down there, a mile away. And you'll just hear all the noise in the bush, and then when you get there, it's all over. Your dogs are being fucking mauled to death. They're just fucking ripped to pieces, right? So when you want a pig, you want to be there as well with your fucking dogs to give it the chop, because your dogs are going to go in and you want to be there and fucking kill the cunt as well, because these pigs are so fucking big, the dogs are not going to kill it. No fucking way. You could send 6 pit bull terriers in after this big wild boar, and they'll fight for 2 fucking hours, mate. And they're so big and tough, it'll end up winning. So you have to be there with your pig dogs to fucking put your fucking knife in. Well, the dogs are busy with a dog, with a pig. You got to be there with your fucking knife, fucking run up and fucking kill the pig while the fucking dogs are fighting the cunt. You stab it in the back, you know what I mean? He's having a fight and you fucking come up and do him. So you want to catch the pig at the bottom of a valley, because if he's at the top and he takes off, he's gone a mile. You get him down the bottom of the valley, you're on the flat ground, he hasn't got that big hill start, boom, 100 miles an hour, and he's fucking off. You want to catch him down the bottom of the valley, or else you're going to lose your dogs. You lose your dogs, mate, because your dogs and the pig will be a fucking mile away, and the fight's over by the time you get there. So you want to sneaky up on this pig, get him down the bottom of a valley, and then you let the fucking dogs off, and the male will come in and take it face on, the boar. He'll come up, and the pig will turn around, and they start having a tussle, but he knows he can't win, but he'll get in its fucking face. And while he does this, the female dog comes in from fucking behind and fucking chomps his ball bags right in the fucking nuts. These 2 dogs are trained to take him on from 2 different directions. One comes in, yeah, what's your problem? And then someone reaches up behind and just grabs you by the fucking balls with a 500-pound fucking teeth scraping down. And then the male starts fucking going in at the face. And that's how all these top pig hunters work up in the far north. Believe me, you know. I used to go up there all the time, and I went out pig hunting a couple of times, you know, and they had some real good dog teams. They were world world renowned at what they fucking done, you know. They brought down some of the world's biggest fucking wild boars in the bush, bro, with 3 dogs and a knife. And, yeah, so he was pissed. And a lot of guys were pissed. And these were old school Kiwi farmers. And, fucking pig hunting, they'll bring back like a fucking 200 and 300 kilogram pig, mate. Fucking. And then it'll get thrown on the back of the dragged out of the bush, taken on the Toyota Hilux, taken down the pub, and taken out on the back barbecue table, you know, big fucking butcher table. And they'll just be drinking fucking handles of beer, mate, smoking joints, and didn't have to pay for nothing. You just put it on your fucking account, you know, everyone knew everyone. And they'll butcher up the whole fucking pig. And some will go to Sam because he's got a big smoker, you know, and some will go to fucking Bill because he gave you a sheep, and they'll share the whole fucking pig around, and its head will get fucking chopped off, and it's a trophy. So it'll go to the taxidermy down at fucking Fred's house, and he's gonna stuff it and mount it to put up on the fucking wall of the pub. Or if it wasn't that good, its tusk would get fucking cut off and it would get made into one of those tusk fucking things you put up on the wall. Oh, bro, they loved it when they got a little piglet, a suckling. If they come back with a suckling, then everyone goes, oh, yeah, John got a fucking suckling up in the forest, because they come up across a female pig, and she had, like, you know, 6 little suckling piglets. And the dog's got one of the piglets, and the other 5 got away, and the mother got away, and that's fucking fine. They just get this baby pig. But you call it a baby pig, it's still as big as your arm, you know. It's a fucking pink, fucking big, fucking piglet. If someone come out of the bush with a piglet, then it went down to the pub and it got dressed up, gutted and everything, and it'd go on the spit. And it'd get fucking roasted on the spit. And they were all top of the range pig hunters, all these guys, at this Hukranui pub. I used to drink at the Hukranui pub and the Te Koperu pub. Hukranui pub was out where my mate's farm was, over in Whangarei, and the Te Koperu pub was where Dad lived, out on the west coast in Dargaville. So I knew all these people that went to both pubs, west coast, east pub, coast, and everything. And I was over at Whangarei, and he was pissed, you know. And they've been talking down the pub about this teacher spanking their fucking children and administrating corporal punishment for their own good. So, one of the bitches, which is one of their female dogs, they used to breed dogs, of course, you know, they had their kennels out the back, and they breed dogs for pig hunting. And one of the bitches had given a litter, you know. So like when one of the bitches they'll breed their dogs and they'll share the litter and turn them into pig dogs, and they're all pig hunters. So they'll have all their dogs and all their gear. And when the dogs bail up the pig, the one male from the front and female from the balls, that's why you have to be close, because while they're doing that, he'd run up with a big fucking Rambo knife and kill the fucking pig. And like I said, if it had taken off down the hill, you were fucked. You couldn't get your knife into the pig. Your dogs were going to get killed. And so they breed dogs, and they're all in on it. They're all pig hunters, you know. Fruit of the forest. And they decided amongst themselves that they're going to get this guy. And they're very patient people. Hunters are. Hunters are very patient people. Farmers are very patient people. This is a far north payback. This is going to freak you out. And they got one of the puppies off this bitch, a pit bull, and she's like 5th generation pig hunting bred fucking dog. And they took one of her puppies and they put it in a fucking cage and they treated it like shit. They were inhumane to this fucking puppy. They turned it insane. For over half a year. The other 4 or 5 puppies, they went to different homes, you know, into the kennels. Yeah, I like the female of the pig hunting team. Once they had a puppy old enough, the puppy would start following the mother, so that they'd learn off each other. They'd make a father-son to train up a new team, and when they're small, so you actually ended up with more than 3 dogs if you're training. If you're training for pig hunting, you had your tracker, your male and your female, and if you had puppies you're training, you'd have 2 more, which would be learning off the other dogs. But they took this fucking puppy and they treated it sadistically. Absolutely. They got this fucking puppy and they turned it into a killing machine. They locked it in a fucking dark cage, fed it scraps, poke it with fucking sticks, and it was fucking evil, mate. It was fucking evil, you know. Who let the dogs out? I'll tell you, the hounds are the bastion and everything, and nothing compared to this. They turned it into an absolute fucking mental unit. Yeah. If they went near the dog's cage, they'll fucking hit it. They'll fucking bash it. They'll poke it with a stick. It hated humans. Hated everything in life. They made it that way. Deliberately fucking turned this dog insane. Absolutely fucking insane. And they did this to this puppy for over 8 months. And it was put on a big collar, smashed everything. And they fucking had this dog from like 6 months old on the end of this fucking leash. And they had like a dummy of a man or something, you know, like that. Get him, get him, get him. And the only time the fucking dog got fed and given a pat was when it just went in and just went wild and just fucking ripped it to fucking pieces. Good boy. Gave it a fucking feed and gave it another fucking hiding and leave it there for 3 fucking days. I actually couldn't believe it. I'll fucking tell you what they did to this animal. So back to the daughter and how upset he was. These guys got a fucking pig dog, a fucking puppy, and they turned it insane. And then one night they were on the fucking piss and they said, yeah, it's time to get this cunt. We'll go and fucking get him. Now this guy, the teacher, the Dutch cunt, who'd been administrating corporal punishment to these children, looking back, I think he actually fucking got off on smacking little kids, actually. You look back on it now, times have changed in how we see the world, compared to then. I think he is a bit of a fucking pedo or some fucking shit, you know. I heard a lot of stories down the pub about how he liked to smack kids around and shit. And they were down to piss on the pub Friday, Saturday night, and they says, yeah, it's fucking time, you know. So on Monday morning, they kept their kids home from school. And they went to the school at like 7:30 in the morning. And parked in the car park. It's true. They went to the primary school, that's what it is, primary school. They went to the primary school car park in their Toyota Hilux on Monday morning down to the school. And they parked just outside the car park. And school was 8:30. And this guy, he used to go to church and be, I'm this and that. Oh yes, I'm doing it for their own good. And he hopped out of his fucking car Monday morning to go and teach class. And he hopped out of his car, closed the door, started walking in, and they let the fucking dog out, mate. Get this cunt! And they let this dog out on this guy. Like 6-8 months after he'd spanked this little girl. And he waited over half a fucking year. And he let this fucking pig dog well, it wasn't a pig dog, it was just a fucking mental killing machine. And this guy arrived, hopped out of his car, closed the door, and he let the fucking dog out and says, kss, kss. And the dog just fucking flew in there, mate. Fucking ripped into him, mate. Went everywhere. And they drove away. They fucked off. So no person could be blamed. Oh, what happened to him? Oh, he turned up and got attacked by a wild dog. Whose dog was it? Oh, no one knows. No one knows nothing, mate. That's how he got him back. That was called a Far North payback, bro. Him and his mates would keep a fucking dog out the back of their house and train it to attack. And if someone really fucking pissed them off like this cunt, they'll go around your house and you'd be walking to your car, and next thing you're attacked by a fucking pit bull terrier, mate. And they just drove away. They didn't give a fuck about the dog. They just leave. No one would even know they were there. Oh, it's a fucking dog attack, you know. The police and ambulance and every fucking thing like that would come down. Shit would hit the fucking fan. And they'd go home. They went to the pub. They went to the pub. About 5, 6 of them all went to the pub. Opened it up on Monday morning. They just walked in. They just walked. Their doors weren't locked at the pub. They went down the pub on Monday fucking morning, mate. And they were all just drinking piss, having a fucking party. And they're all just saying, oh, I hope the fucking thing ripped his fucking throat out. I hope he fucking ripped his fingers off. I hope it fucked him right up, you know. And, he went back home, kissed this little girl and says, you know, you don't have to worry about going to school anymore, darling. You're not going to see him again. True story. I knew this guy for quite a few years, and like I said, when I turned up, he was quite upset. Well, I turned up to his house one day, and I was quite upset. And he said, oh, Al, what's fucking wrong? I said, oh, this guy's giving me fucking grief. It's my neighbour. He says, you want me to get you a Far North payback to take home with you to Auckland. And you'll see in one of my other videos, it's the neighbour I ended up getting PD for. But he offered to me, I'll give you a dog to take back to Auckland. Just point him in the right direction and drive away. And it's nothing to do with you. Yeah. Pretty fucking evil, you know. And he did some other shit that freaked me out too. But I'm going to cut it off here. I've got a couple more for you. It's raining. But I'll tell you another story about a king rat. That was wicked, mate. That was wicked too. But I'll leave you there for now. Don't fuck with farmers in the far north of New Zealand in the 1990s. And don't spank their little girls, because you might get mauled by a rancid dog when you hop out of your car and close the door. No fucking around, mate. They'll take care of you. They'll make sure to hurt you worse than you hurt any of them and their fucking family. But they'll get away with it and not go to jail. So you know the story. Stay true, stay good, be good to one another. Peace out, Uncle Al.